taunting titles or
taunting names. Taunting is good.
used to nicknames the children.
Nickname जो है उसकी बड़ी positive meanings होते
First,
हैं.
I was thinking of pet names, but it was not suiting.
So, and by the way, you can write Urdu as well. Analysis आप अपनी ज़बान में कर सकते हैं. Nobody uses it. No. Pointing this. How connected that? Calling names है ना. Calling names मतलब वो abuse करते हैं बच्चों को. चलिए next पे आ जाते हैं. Oh, we've got a little girl in here. She looks different and she acts different, so they'll make up some names that they call her. What's the keyword?
Easy.
And different, because she's different. This is one main keyword.
Sorry.
अभी तो इस sentence में we don't know if she's confident or not. She's just a little girl who looks different and acts different, so they call her names. Any other keywords?
Maybe she's a pampered girl.
That's an assumption, and you can obviously note all the assumptions that you have in your mind in a separate document called memorandums, and you keep that file separately when you're doing analysis. But right now, you just try and find one or two or three words that can summarize that statement, or you can pick new knowledge out of it. So there is one issue that she is different and she's being teased because of that, and what else?
Maybe she is not from the same class.
Maybe पे नहीं जा रहे ना अभी हम, because maybe is something that we keep for the memorandums. अभी when it sorry.
मैम ये डेटा एनालाइज ही नहीं कर सकते ना, इसमें एज मेंशन्ड है उनकी कि वो किस क्लास के हैं, छोटी एज के हैं, बड़ी एज के हैं, हम किस तरह उसको एनालाइज करें, बच्चे हैं या बड़े हैं.
डेटा किससे कलेक्ट हुआ है?
ऊपर लिखा है ना स्टेट ग्रेड.
हाँ.
ये ऊपर वाला
कॉन्टेक्स्ट एक क्लास टीचर है जो कि एक खास ग्रेड की है, so we do have, and that's why मैं सिर्फ ट्रांसक्रिप्ट नहीं शेयर किया आप लोगों से. पहले मैंने बताया है कि उसके पीछे क्या कहानी है, कि वो एक्शन रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, किस पर्पस के लिए कर रहे हैं. ये प्री एक्शन फेज है. प्री एक्शन फेज में you start by going into field and trying and understand कि फील्ड में हो क्या है. तो शुरू में तो आपके पास सारा इसी तरह का डेटा है, रॉ डेटा.
For second, I had come with the word beard. For the second,
Beard क्यों?
because she is quite changed, not common.
Okay, you can note that down, but have you noticed that beard is a negative term, and this means that you are connecting your own thoughts with her being different. So your own prejudices gets added, and this happens really common. It's in qualitative research, but you'd have to reread your open course to decide whether it was what you perceived or whether it was really in the data.
So for wording, there is some kind of.
It's always good to use the words which are neutral.
Okay. Operation by calling dead names.
Oppression by calling
dead names.
which is prohibited. Which is completely prohibited. That's fine. You're perfect. Yes, I have 40 copies.
40. So where are the rest of the copies?
Tantrum and the students who were bullying. But tantrum means tantrum का मतलब ये होता है कि आप किसी चीज पे अड़ जाएं और आप उस पे फिजिकली बिहेव करना शुरू कर दें कि मुझे ये चीज चाहिए, चाहे आप लौटना फूटना शुरू कर दें। दिस इज टेंट्रम। So tantrum तो नहीं दिखा रही बच्ची, she is just being different, and the other students are not showing any tantrum as well. They just follow the class. हाँ. So two important points that you have missed is that first that you just mentioned, it's a new admission. She is new here. And the second thing is she is a little girl. So little girl means it could mean that maybe in terms of size she is little, or maybe in terms of age she is younger. So this is how you do qualitative research. You pay attention to every single detail in that sentence and you note down all the key points जो आपको sentence से generate होते हैं and you write that down as a note. Then when and I realized it correctly जब मैंने start किया था कि कुछ गड़बड़ होगी, analytical coding एग्जाम में आएगी. हाँ, so वो ये है कि मेरे पास जिस डिजाइन में आ रहा था उसमें visibility के मसले हो रहे थे. I changed it into multiple design, उसमें इसका डल हो गया. So Excel coding जब आप कर रहे होते हैं, और मैं इसको थोड़ा स्पीड में कर रही हूँ बिकॉज ये 3 आवर्स की मेरी क्लास का कोर्स है, उसमें बच्चे आराम से पूरा ट्रांसक्राइब करते हैं. फिर उसके बाद हम एक्सेल कोडिंग की तरफ जाते हैं. बट डू practice it at home and keep these things in mind कि आपने each and every detail पे focus करना है, क्या words वो use कर रही है. And there is a point जो कि मैं आपकी उस चीज को mention करने के लिए कि वो थोड़ा सा, अगर आप इस वाले क्वेश्चन पे जाएं तो वो उससे पूछता है लाइक ए न्यू कमर. सॉरी, व्हिच क्वेश्चन? यस, सेकंड पेज टर्न करने के बाद जो बिल्कुल नहीं,
ये यहाँ से घूम रही.
इससे पहले कि आप सेंटेंस पढ़ेंगे ना, जहाँ उसने कहा लाइक अ न्यू कमर, it's very unintelligible कि वो कहना क्या चाह रही है. She said that she's a brand new and the other students are brand new, so वो clarity नहीं आ रही कि वो क्या कहना चाह रही है. So फिर जो इंटरव्यूअर है वो उससे पूछती है कि क्या वो न्यू कमर है, and she took a pause. And if when you'll do it, when you'll read it, you'll realize that she might be pointing out some problems in the child. मगर फिर being a teacher, remember that she is a teacher, she cannot reveal a lot about her students. So she took a pause and she said, okay. And then she somehow changed her statements. This information, these pauses, and that's why when the transcriber transcribed it, she didn't miss this point. And this is good transcription. When you transcribe, you do note down where there was a long pause, when there was something, let me think about it, all these things. You do note that down. You don't miss these points because these are pieces of information. Everything, as I said, the first sentence was that everything is data. So even your garbage, when you waste the data, the word you're saying is very precious data because you say it after some mental process. So the second step is once you do the open coding, you try and recode them. फिर एक आपने एक इंटरव्यू का कर लिया, then you go and conduct interview another person, and then open coding, then third, then open coding, then fourth, and then you try and reread the codes after a while, and now these codes will start making sense to you. And you can see that this is very important information that has been repeated by other people as well. And this is one chunk of information that's specific to this person. And that really doesn't mean in quantitative research, if 90% people are saying same thing and one person isn't agreeing, we just ignore that person. But that's not how it happens in qualitative research. For us, that one person is really very important. Why that one person is saying something very different. And we'll try and dig out meanings of it. So the main difference between quantitative and qualitative research is the emphasis on the meaning. Quantitative research, patterns in objective data that proves or disproves a thing is more important, and it has its own significance because I do a lot of quantitative research on my own. But qualitative research, the main strength of qualitative research is to see the details and to pick out meanings and to build patterns, but based on what's missing, what's there, what has been said, and what was avoided, all this information. And once you have done all the revised open coding, you try and connect the codes. So अभी since आपकी open coding complete नहीं हुई, तो मैं आपको Excel coding करना practically नहीं सिखा सकती. But when I did it in the class, there were certain themes that were relevant to bullying behavior. कि bullying behavior किस तरह का हो सकता है, उसमें physical abuse आ सकता है, emotional abuse हो सकता है, उसमें calling names से जैसे start हुआ था, but they was pushing, a lot of other physical abuse was there. Then there were certain themes related to the causes of bullying behavior. Why students were bullying that girl? Some of them were related to the girl. Maybe she was from a strange background, उसका behavior different था, वो छोटी है, उसका attitude जो है match नहीं हो रहा, attention teacher की ज़्यादा उसकी जानिब है, और इस तरह के बहुत सारे factors थे जिसकी वजह से she was being bullied. And then there were certain factors that were related to the kids. उनका जो बाकी क्लास के बच्चे हैं जो bully कर रहे हैं, वो किस background से आए हैं, उनके क्या मसाइल हैं, वो किस social setup से उठकर आए हैं, और क्यों वो target कर रहे हैं एक बच्ची को जो कि नहीं आई है. So maybe there were ethnic difference. So there were lots of causes, and the teacher very briefly talked about the mechanism they've taken to deal with this. For instance, she mentioned that we do ask the students, we do encourage the students to complain, to tell us if there is a bullying behavior. But note that down that she has observed bullying on her own. She is a teacher. No students needs to come to her and tell her that she is being bullied because she can observe it. So complaints maybe were not enough. Maybe she needed to do something more productive. So since it's a pre-action research, all these information you have to collect in order to decide how to handle this girl. So the point you were saying, or the other person was saying कि बच्ची की मुझे age तो पता नहीं है या बच्ची के data नहीं पता. When you start collecting data, especially when you start collecting qualitative data, you connect the dots. For instance, आपने इससे interview किया और you came out knowing about a girl. Now you can go and talk to the parents of that specific. So qualitative data में कभी भी size start में नहीं पता होता. Research के end पे आपको पता होता है कि sample size क्या है. Quantitative research में you pre-decide your sample size. This is the targeted sample size. I'll try to find at least this much data from the field. और अगर इतना data होता तो मेरी research जो है वो generalizable नहीं होगी तो उसकी quality पे question आएगा. So इतना तो मुझे करना है, इतने लोगों से तो survey करना है, और उसके लिए भी आप पहले से decide कर लेते हैं कि किन लोगों से survey करना है. And analysis जो है, it just starts after you have collected it. सारे लोगों से questionnaire fill करा लिए, उसके बाद आप बैठेंगे और analysis start करेंगे. Qualitative data में ऐसा नहीं होता, and that's why I said कि मैं अपने students को कहता हूँ कि transcription पहले करें, फिर जाके दूसरा interview करें, foreign transcription करें, because जब आप transcribe कर रहे होंगे, you note these things. ये किसी बच्ची की बात हो रही है, या जब आप interview कर रहे होते हैं, तब भी आप ये note these things down. कि ये information है जिनसे मैं snowball technique जो आप मेरा ख्याल सभी को पता होगी, वो इसी तरह काम करती है कि आपने एक शख्स का interview किया, आपने point out किया कि इसने कुछ ऐसे लोगों को mention किया है which can be very good source of interview, very good source of information. So you ask that person to connect you with the people he was or she was mentioning. ठीक है? और जब एनालिटिकल कोडिंग पर हम आते हैं तो जब ये वाले जो themes मैंने आपको बता दिए थे कि these are causes, these are the factors within the students, these might be the behavior, these might be the remedies applied, and these might be the remedies missing. So वो सारी चीजें लिखने के बाद now you do the analytical coding, and analytical coding is specifically for grounded theory method. You can add your research analysis at this point if you're doing thematic analysis. But if you're doing grounded theory method, in grounded theory method, and take grounded theory as one word and analysis as the other word, because it has nothing to do with theory. Theory किसे कहते हैं आप लोग?
Set of ideas,
Set of ideas about.
specific ideas.
It's a very general definition. What is a theory?
Based on the
Just
logical
कितने
facts.
लोग उसको theorist समझते हैं?
Statements based on the logical facts.
Raise hand. How many of you think that they are theorists?
Some.
Everyone. Every one of you is a theorist. Theory क्या है? Theory ये है कि हम किसी चीज specific चीज को देख के उसके बारे में general statements पास करते हैं. वो general statements theory होती हैं. And we do it all the time. So theory, general theory, grounded theory का मतलब ये है कि वो theory, वो perception जो हमने ground से, field से जाके collect किए हैं, उनका analysis. So grounded theory analysis की जो एक major difference grounded theory और एक qualitative analysis में आता है, usually qualitative analysis phenomenological perspective से की जाती है. Grounded theory method is based on pragmatic analysis. Pragmatic theory, pragmatism is कि हर वो चीज, हर वो method जिससे मुझे अपने research question का answer मिल जाएगा, I will use that without caring about qualitative and quantitative. So grounded theory method use certain concepts of quantitative data analysis as well, and that's why it's called, it uses the pragmatic research philosophy. The objective is to generate new ideas, new theories. It always ends with a new theory, but the theory should be grounded, should be collected from the field. So you go and collect data, you conduct a thematic analysis, and once that thematic analysis has been conducted, then you do the analytical coding. And analytical coding is basically to generate themes or theories out of it. And this is really a complicated, very detailed process that requires a whole lecture of its own. Just to summarize it, once you have the revised open codes along with some headings के ये causes हैं, now you can try and connect the causes with the behavior and with the outcome or consequences, and you try and see the patterns. For instance, if there is a specific behavior, is it connected to a specific cause, and does it produce a specific consequence? So आपके पास कोडिंग्स बन चुकी हैं, आपके पास चीजें अब systematically divide हो चुकी हैं, अब आप उसको समझने की कोशिश करेंगे. This is something that requires a lot of training. ये बहुत easy process नहीं होता. So इसलिए analytical coding या grounded theory research method usually बहुत कम apply होते हैं. मैंने भी अपनी किसी research में आज तक उसे apply नहीं किया, despite the fact that I know how to do it, but it requires a lot of effort and time, जो कि हमारे पास usually नहीं होती. So Excel coding तक at least for students at least Excel coding तक करें. अपने data को as it is खुद से उसमें से meaning generate ना करें, और खुद से ये ना करें कि अच्छा इसने ये कहा था और उसके बाद एक इंटरव्यू के बाद second पे jump and then third पे, because a lot of students do this. Try and connect all the information. Try and connect one interview with the other interview with the second and with the third one, and generate at least some concrete information out of it, which you can prove to the world. कि ये मैंने इस तरह connect किया और इस तरह data है. This is memorandum which I was mentioning. Memorandum is your own thoughts, your own perceptions. जब आप इंटरव्यू कर रहे होते हैं तब भी आप memorandum की जब आप qualitative research करते हैं, you keep a diary with you and you note down every single thought that comes in your mind throughout the research. Starting from when you start collecting data, then when you go and interview someone, उस दौरान, उसके बाद जब आप transcription करेंगे उस वक्त, जब आप एनालिसिस करेंगे उस वक्त, ये सिर्फ आपकी मेमोरीज हैं जो आप इसमें सेव कर रहे हैं एंड ट्रीट इट एज अ लेटर टू यू. आप अपने आप को लेटर लिख रहे हैं फ्यूचर यू को कि जब आप पेपर लिखने बैठेंगे या जब आप थीसिस लिखने बैठेंगे तो इन सारी चीज़ों का ख्याल रखना है बिकॉज इन चीज़ों में आपके प्रेजुडिसेस ऐड होंगे. आपको अंदाजा होगा कि ओके मैं ये सोच रहा था, दैट्स व्हाई मैंने ये वाला ओपन कोड लिखा, या मैं ये मूड के साथ मैं गई थी इंटरव्यू करने और मुझे वो बंदा पसंद नहीं आ रहा था जिसका मैं इंटरव्यू कर रही थी, उसका बिहेवियर थोड़ा ऑड था. सो दैट्स व्हाई जब मैं एनालिसिस करने बैठी तो उसको मैंने बहुत नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन में दिखाया है. द पर्सन माइट नॉट बी दैट नेगेटिव, सो यू नीड टू कीप दैट विद यू. In fact, in some, in Europe at least, when you're doing a funded research, they ask you to keep that memos with you and then publish them along with your publication. अगर आप research paper publish कर रहे हैं, अगर आप book कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, उसके साथ एक repository में आप ये सारा data भी लिखेंगे कि आपने आपके अपने prejudices क्या थे, ताकि जब कोई और उस किताब या उस paper को पढ़ रहा है तो वो जाके उस data को भी access करे और देखेगी. The thing he was saying about that everything should be open. This open knowledge concepts is very much popular in Europe now, and all the projects you see now where you can access books, where you can access literature, and where you can access raw data. And if someone has conducted a survey, तो वो उसका Excel sheet में पूरा raw data publish करते हैं. It's because of the European Union. European Union follow this policy कि आपने अपना सारा data publish करना है. इसको वहां से कर
Next. This is next one.
Okay. So this is about how you generate theories from themes. You review your codes and categories to identify patterns you see with, and I've already almost covered it, but just to summarize it, you try and see which people are saying the same thing, which ones aren't saying the same thing, and again go back to the question of why this person is saying different thing, why all these people are saying same thing. Check their context, whether they belong to same ethnicity, whether they are from same gender, whether they are from same age group, and a lot of other contextual data which you have collected. See that. Then develop a thematic model connecting different themes, which I've just explained. That if you have, for instance, the causes, the behavior, and the consequences, you need to see which particular cause is connected to which particular behavior, and then which consequence. So you generate general themes out of it, and then these general themes are actually theories here.
Ma'am, I have a question. If somebody, while I'm conducting the interview, is already, he is in a bad mood, and he was having something else, a problem which I am discussing, has nothing to do with that actually. But he is responding, very differently. So in that condition, what do you think? Should be the researchers control on things?
And try not to control the person you're interviewing,
Okay.
but do note that down.
Okay.
Note that down that that person, when he was speaking or she was speaking, he wasn't in good mood. And in fact, mood data, what was the mood, how happy was the person, or how comfortable that person was. This is a very important chunk of information that you connect with what he or she is saying. And again, ये चीजें memorandum जब आप memorandum जो मैं keep करने को कह रही हूँ उसको रखें अपने साथ. It is for these purposes. Memorandum में ये note करें कि interview के दौरान माहौल कैसा है, वो शख्स कितना uncomfortable है, या गुस्से में है, या बीच में कभी-कभी होता है आप इंटरव्यू कर रहे थे, the person starts really well, मगर बीच में इंटरप्शन होती है और फिर वो कहता है कि बस जल्दी खत्म करें, so उस चक्कर में जो बात का डाटा है वो बहुत मीनिंगलेस सा हो जाता है। तो आपको ये चीजें नोट अगर आप नहीं करेंगे, एंड हमें लगता है कि सब कुछ हमारे दिमाग में स्टोर तो हो रहा है, हमें याद तो रहेगा, लेकिन जब आप एनालिसिस करने बैठते हैं तो आप बहुत कुछ भूल चुके होते हैं। सो दैट्स व्हाई यू नीड टू कीप अ डायरी विद यू जिसमें आप सब चीजें नोट करें, उस वक्त नहीं, उसके सामने नहीं, पर वो बुरा लगेगा, लेकिन फौरन ही, जैसे इंटरव्यू आप फारिग हो सबसे पहले बैठ के आप ये करेंगे।
As we are student of international relations, so whenever we conduct interviews on any topic, so we will interview different countries people. So like if we talk about Pakistan and India, so the India is totally against the Pakistan and Pakistan is totally against. So what is the outcome of that type of research?
That is data. That is data. You need to see why Pakistan's perception is negative about Indians. What particular reasons they are giving, because we always justify our hatred. So what justification we have for hating someone who we, our ancestor used to love, and what reasons do they have? And the pattern, the difference in these reasons explains a lot about this society and that society.
As I recently worked on the Pakistan-India relationship, and they always blame on Pakistan there. And recently, the foreign minister of the India also said that Pakistan is a terrorist country. That is why we will not involve her in any anything else. But I forgot the German institution, but a German institution clarified that the propaganda through the social media from the Indian people to deliberately sabotage the Pakistani's image in the world.
So what were you interviewing? What are you interviewing?
Sorry?
Who was the person you were interviewing?
No, I'm just.
आप किसका इंटरव्यू कर रहे थे?
मैं इंटरव्यू नहीं कर रही थी, मैं एक रिसर्च आर्टिकल पढ़ रही थी जर्नल का। उसमें ये कहा गया था कि आई जो क्योंकि इंडिया बहुत ज़्यादा आगे है एआई में, तो वो उन्होंने पूरा एक सेल बनाया हुआ है लाइक फेसबुक सोशल मीडिया पे, जिसकी वजह से वो जानबूझ के पाकिस्तान की इमेज को डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे होते हैं।
I don't know about German, but Capri does published a report, the Airbag, which has a collection of information regarding. It's basically based on Twitter analysis, and it provided some evidence that a lot of negative propaganda material that we see on our Twitter account is basically generated not just from India but also from Afghanistan.
Yes.
So that created a lot of uproar at that time, because the problem with Twitter is, and I have conducted Twitter analysis as well, you cannot say with assurance that this particular person is present in this particular geographical location. So it's really biased. But yes, I mean the negative perception is there. The thing is, since we're doing qualitative research, it's not important what they're saying. Always go back to the question of why. What are their past experiences? Are they trying to achieve something? Are there certain objectives they are trying to achieve? Are they trying to isolate Pakistan, and why? If they feel, is it a matter of threat or is it a matter of something else? So the question of why is more important. What they're doing is important. It's a source of information, but it's not important. You don't need to stop at what is happening. So that German institute you're mentioning, that must have provided you the what part, that they're doing this, but then as a qualitative researcher, your job is to try and find why they are doing this.
No, I'm talking about how do we know that the data is authentic or not?
But the authenticity of data is always an issue, and a lot of ways you can check it, but that requires another hour to explain कि क्या क्या तरीके हो सकते हैं आप data की authenticity check करने के. The best way out is to go and collect it on. Don't rely on secondary sources. Okay, so the very last thing, if I So these are some computer-assisted qualitative data analysis tools. Some of them are free, some are not, but do not rely on technology too much, especially when you're doing qualitative data, because what these tools can do is the second exercise जो आपने अभी नहीं करनी घर जाके कर लीजिएगा उसमें आपके पास कंप्यूटर जनरेटेड कोड्स आते हैं उसने ओपन कोडिंग आपके लिए कर दी है डेटा आपने उसे दे दिया उसको कॉन्टेक्स्ट बता दिया कि इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ये डेटा कलेक्ट हो रहा है ये ऑब्जेक्टिव है सो उन्होंने ओपन कोडिंग करके आपको दे दी है जितनी मेन थीम्स उस डेटा में से जनरेट हुए वो लिखनी है सो ओपन कोडिंग का काम आपके लिए बच गया है इसका मतलब अगेन ये नहीं है दैट यू वोंट टू द ओपन कोडिंग और यू वोंट चेक इट आपको फिर भी ट्रांसक्रिप्शन करने पड़ेंगे और चेक करना पड़ेगा कि जो ओपन कोड उसने जनरेट किया उसमें कोई एक आध मिस तो नहीं हो गया लेकिन फिर भी टाइम बच जाएगा और फिर आप इसकी जो मीनिंग जनरेशन का काम है वो फिर आप करेंगे सो दिस इज इट एंड थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू यूनिवर्सिटी for inviting me and living partner.
Okay, so this was Professor Batool, who was talking about there is different research method about the quantitative analysis, and she emphasized that the essence of research is that the research should come on the heels of novelty. Rather, the people they are producing the same things. So there must be some novelty in the research work. So now, any question which you would like to ask from Dr. Fizza Batool? The floor is open. If you have any question, you may ask, please. From there, yes.
मैम आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन दैट आपने ये कहा कि इंडिविजुअल का डेटा भी बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं 50 लोगों का इंटरव्यू करता हूँ और सभी का मैं डेटा कलेक्शन करता हूँ MS वर्ड पे लिख रहा हूँ तो 100-150 पेजेस जो है मेरे उन सबके एक एक डेटा का हो जाएगा क्योंकि मैं ये भी मेंशन करूँगा कि मैं कहाँ पे बैठा हूँ फॉर एग्जांपल मैं होटल पे जाके बैठता हूँ 2 लोगों से इंटरव्यू करता हूँ तो मैं लोकेशन बताऊँगा उनकी सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज बताऊँगा उनका जेस्चर क्या है उनका पोस्चर क्या है वो सब चीज़ें बताऊँगा और फिर शेक्सपियर ये कह देते हैं ब्रेविटी इज द सोल ऑफ विट कि अक्लमंद जो है वो कम बात करता है तो यहाँ पे ये डेटा एक्सपांड हो जाएगा तो इसको हम किस तरीके से टैकल करें
एक तो when you're doing qualitative research size of your sample is of no importance आपने 2 बंदों का इंटरव्यू किया है वो 2 लोग हैं जो आप किसी ऐसे इशू पे काम कर रहे हैं जिस पे लोगों के साथ जुल्म हुआ है और आपने 2 डायरेक्ट विक्टिम्स का इंटरव्यू कर लिया है जिन्होंने उसको फेस किया है that's enough that's a rich data जो डॉक्टर बात कर रहे थे there was just one picture ना और उस पिक्चर में बैक पे एक पिक्चर है और उससे आप जनरेट कर रहे हैं in qualitative research it's not important to go and interview 50 people and I don't recommend 50 people की क्या जरूरत है qualitative research में वैसे भी आप अगर एक ही तरह के लोगों से आप इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं तो 3 लोगों के बाद चौथा बंदा वही बात रिपीट करेगा 3-4 के बाद जो है ना रिपीटेशन आने लगती है डेटा में इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि आप उस शख्स को तलाश करें उसमें टाइम करें जो कि आपको सही रिच डेटा दे दे मल्टीपल लोगों से पर्सपेक्टिव लें ताकि आपके पास एटलीस्ट डिफरेंट जेंडर ग्रुप्स का डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स का डिफरेंट एथनिक ग्रुप्स का या जो भी आपके रेलेवेंट कॉन्टेक्चुअल फैक्टर्स हैं उसका डेटा आपके पास आए एक शख्स एटलीस्ट हर चीज को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा हो लेकिन उसके बाद स्टॉप वेयर यू फील कि अब मेरे पास इतना डाटा आ गया है कि आई कैन जनरेट एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू स्टार्ट एनालाइजिंग थिंग्स इन बिटवीन डेटा कलेक्शन ऐसा नहीं करते कि आप डेटा कलेक्शन करने के बाद भी करते हैं आपने 5 लोगों का इंटरव्यू किया आपको लगा कि इतना डाटा आ गया है इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट बातें मेरे पास आ गई हैं जो काफी होंगी एक थीसिस प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए आप नहीं रुक जाएंगे एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई सेड कि कभी भी सैंपल साइज आपको शुरू में नहीं पता होता बाद में आपको पता होता है कि यहाँ ये पॉइंट है जहाँ मुझे
But ma'am, is it justified because मुझे ये बताया जाता है कि आपके रिसर्च में एटलीस्ट 200 या 150 जो है वो होना जरूरी है अदरवाइज आपका थीसिस नहीं एक्सेप्ट होगा मुझे आप एक एंटायरली डिफरेंट पिक्चर बता रही हैं क्योंकि मेरे साथ तो ये इंसिडेंट हो चुका है मैंने अपनी रिसर्च स्टार्ट की सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे मैं मैनेजमेंट साइंसेस से बिलोंग करती हूँ तो वहाँ पे मेरे था कि 50 थे सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर like EB and all others, तो मुझे ये कहा गया था कि आप कभी प्रेजेंट नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज अभी तो ये बिल्कुल बेसिक उस पर है, आपका एक्सेप्ट नहीं
मैं
होगा।
जब बच्चों को रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पढ़ाती हूँ, मैं उन्हें एक डिस्क्लेमर देती हूँ पढ़ाते हुए कि जो कुछ मैं आपको सिखा रही हूँ, अगर आप सुपरवाइजर के पास जाएं और वो कहे कि नहीं ये सब गलत है, तो उसको गलत मान के उस वक्त उसकी सुनिए। Because supervisor is king, वो डिसाइड करते हैं भाई। तो आप हाँ उनकी सुने, और जब लेकिन point is, हाँ, नहीं वही जब आपको कर लें, अपनी डिग्री आपके हाथ में आ जाए, जब आप बड़े लेवल पे जाके रिसर्च करें, जब आपने दुनिया के सामने रिसर्च करनी है, then उनके लिए ये इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है कि साइज क्या है, उनके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है आप लेकर के आए।
Okay, any other question which you would like to ask from Dr. Fizza? No question. Okay, thank you, Dr. Fizza. Now we would like to call Dr. Abdul Chairman Department of International Relations from University for word of thanks. Please, sir.
Thank you. On behalf of the Department of International Relations, Federal Agency, Karachi, I would like to thank all guest speakers from Czech Republic, Bulgaria, and Dr. Fizza. She is from Zabis, so we are highly thankful. And I think today's lectures will enhance your knowledge in this regard, in this field, and you will learn how to conduct research, how to write thesis and research paper, etc. and etc. So once again, I am really thankful.
Okay, Dr. Amir Faruqi will send you the certificate of your participation in this workshop by tonight. Then we will send it.
Just tonight.
So you will get your certificates. Okay. Once again, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Yes, we will have a group photo outside. चलिए यहाँ पे भी सर आ जाइए।
This is secretary.